How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nerdy Basement Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy. And joining me, as always, is your other host.
You already know, guys. It's me, Eddie. What's going on?
And we are back again, back-to-back episodes. This time, this episode is just us, because Boozer, unfortunately, is out sick. Unfortunately, he caught COVID, him and his fiance. So, much prayers and thoughts into them. Speedy recovery to them both. Because, COVID is still out there. For those who do not think it's out there, it's still out there.
Still real.
And people are still catching it.
Exactly. Still very real, people. So, make sure that, stay safe, obviously. And, just get tested if you actually feel like shit, like complete shit.
Exactly. If you're feeling any symptoms, get tested, get vaxxed if you believe in getting vaxxed, obviously. But yeah, it's just Eddie and I today kicking it old school. Honestly, we're just kicking it old school today. Just a news-filled episode. No reviews, no nothing. San Diego Comic-Con was this past week. So if you guys have been keeping up with us all weekend, you saw we dumped a ton of coverage on our social media pages. We got some stuff coming to the website and whatnot, but before I went on vacation, we wanted to get on here together and discuss all things San Diego Comic-Con as quickly as possible. We're not going to be here for 3 hours. I know those days were fun, but we're not going to be here for 3 hours discussing San Diego Comic-Con. But without further ado, let's get right into it. We might have some winners, some losers. We'll be the judge of all that. We got some WB news, some Marvel news, obviously. A lot of stuff to be excited about. Other non-comic book shows and movies that we got to discuss. Not necessarily dive into too much. Some trailers were released. We got release dates, first look images and stuff like that. And obviously, we got some comic book news, and maybe Ed can kind of run through all that since he's the comic book guy. I don't know, but maybe I'll take a crack at it. We'll see.
Just
we'll
see
what
there.
happens.
It's always in the way. It's always
don't show off.
We definitely
don't show off.
We share the wealth. That's what it comes down to. We share the wealth. But let's get into this shit, man.
We always share the wealth. But yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. We're gonna get right into WB and DC films because there was a lot to talk about when it came to them, but not a lot to talk about when it came to them, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So like I was getting the same feel. A lot of people online kept on saying Warner Brothers, DC kind of dropped the ball, but at the same time, it's just because of the fact that Marvel was just kind of, they went in guns blazing, you know what I mean? So
Marvel went in guns blazing like they don't have D23 next month or something. Like I'm just like Marvel, like come on.
But at the same time, when we get to Marvel, we can say didn't they kind of mention half of this shit? So it's like
a lot of it was theorized, a lot of it was rumored. We got obviously confirmation, as I always used to say on the pod. Confirmation is confirmation. We always want confirmation. So that's all we really needed from Marvel and Kevin Feige during Hall H, on top of the new announcements that we got. But yeah, going back to WB and DC, we got a brand new trailer for The Sandman, which is dropping next Friday, August 5th on Netflix. Review coming for that real soon on the Nerdy Basement website. We might do a podcast on that. Not too sure. But obviously, we got to see the show a little early, so we can't talk about it yet. I have watched some of it. We can't talk about it. We're under strict embargo until the day the show premieres, which is August 5th. So obviously, that's something you guys can look forward to. We also got a new look at Black Adam. The Rock did show up in costume, which I felt was pretty dope. Probably the biggest, if not the only, highlight of Hall H when it came to WB and DC. We did get a huge announcement for Black Adam, which was Viola Davis returning as Amanda Waller.
Dope.
And I feel like Amanda Waller is really playing the connective thread within all these movies within the DCEU. And listen, I like seeing Viola Davis in everything and anything. Word. So more Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, I am here for it. And if she's gonna be used as the connective thread between all these movies and kind of further rebuild this universe from the ground up, listen, I am here for it. So I'm a huge fan of Viola Davis. So that's huge news there.
I'll take this
Not much
one.
to really go on to really this.
Oh wait, what do you mean?
I wasn't gonna leave Black Adam here because we did get some new looks at the Justice Society using their powers. You know what I'm saying? So we got that. We got Hawkman in action, which he looks amazing. The effects on Dr. Fate look amazing. Cyclone, like there's a lot of things to look forward to in this movie, and I'm super excited about it. I'm still a little concerned with The Rock being Black Adam because I feel that he's gonna rock rock this role.
The problem,
you know what I mean?
The problem with The Rock being in a star-studded role and everything is because he just ends up being The Rock again. And he unfortunately I've never been too big of a fan of a lot of the stuff that he does because he just doesn't really give me like the actual character. So it's like I'm hoping for something good because, again, Black Adam is one of the biggest characters in DC, and now all of a sudden, again, we've been talking about it since he announced this 2 years ago type shit, and it's just crazy. It sucks to say that, hey, I'm worried this actor's not going to really pull it off, but, obviously, it's not the first time it's ever happened. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So, I mean, we've had concerns like that when it comes to, like, people like John Cena, Will Smith and things like that. So I think that's my biggest concern when it comes to Black Adam. Not so much about whether the movie will deliver or not. It's more about what The Rock is going to deliver.
Exactly.
With this role specifically. Other than that, it was just a 1 minute video, teaser trailer, whatever it was, and not much to really go off of because we got a trailer way before San Diego Comic-Con rolled around anyway. So anything that they really showed after the fact was just new footage of the Justice Society in action, and then the announcement of Viola Davis returning as Amanda Waller, which was heavily rumored to begin with anyway. Yeah. But we also did get our first trailer for Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
That one we got to see. I was very surprised. That one was fun. I really enjoyed that one.
That was a good trailer.
I think
that was a really good trailer.
I think they took it from what I loved about the first one, and they stayed on trajectory. They updated the costumes, and at the same time, Zach Levi is like. He's doing it well. You know what I mean? He's playing this young guy.
I feel like he's a little more comfortable in the role now. It feels like he's a little more comfortable. He's fully embraced, not necessarily the silliness of Shazam, but the really fun aspect of Shazam. At the end of the day, while he does look like an adult, he's still a kid. So, he's capturing that essence and that characteristic, at least that character trait, really well, and it shows in the trailer. And obviously he's juggling that adulthood now. Now they're becoming much older, and, because the movie is now confirmed to take place years after the first film. They're established heroes now, so the Shazam family are established heroes. These are heroes the public knows, they look after, you know what I'm saying, so they keep up with. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and then obviously the big age jump. There's its own set of problems, essentially, is what they're going to be dealing with. Yeah. We also got the confirmation that the Daughters of Atlas are confirmed to be the villains of this movie. Yeah. We got our first look at them. We got to see Lucy Liu and stuff like that in costume and being a villain and all that. So I think that was super, super fun. One of the movies I'm looking forward to this year, of course, from DC. The big thing with DC was, a lot of people were calling this a fail because, and I was one of those people too, to an extent though. To an extent, I'm calling it a fail. Not necessarily so much because of the Henry Cavill stuff that's, that was swirling. Because we know the where the DCU is at, what's going on with Henry Cavill. They kind of want to move on from that. People want him back. And this is this constant back and forth between WB and the fans. Yeah. And obviously the fans are not fully getting what they want. Even though they got what they wanted with the Snyder Cut, they're really not getting too much out of that. So Henry Cavill was rumored to appear at Hall H via surprise. But if it's a surprise, that wouldn't be reported prior to the panel. To talk up more Superman. Obviously, that didn't happen. So a lot of people were just like complaining and whining on social media about it not really being a hit for WB. In addition to that, we also got Jim Lee officially confirming at his official panel that there are no plans, further confirming, not like we need like 1,001 confirmations at this point when it comes to the Snyderverse, that there will be no continuation and there's no plans of continuing the Snyderverse. You know, your fans got the Snyder Cut.
But why did they?
It's
funny that they brought it up to Jim Lee. Yes, Jim Lee is a very prominent figure in, you know, DC, but he's the comic guy. He's one of the publishers for the comic. Why would
he's on top of publishing the comics, he's also overseeing the creative aspect of the movies now.
Now they just did that to him? Oh my God. This is exactly what they did to Jeff Johns.
He's overseeing a lot of that stuff.
Dude, I hope they don't Jeff Johns him. Like, they did Jeff Johns pretty dirty. It just, what's the point of that? Like, it just, hey, I hope Jim Lee does well, obviously, but it's also a matter of, like, they've already shown us that they don't listen fully and they don't want to. So why bring in Jim Lee, one of the best guys in the comic book industry right now, still to date?
Yeah, and still to this day. I mean, listen, it's a heavy is the head who wears the crown, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So, yep. I mean, so far they've been having some hits. You know, they've announced some projects that are you know, that a lot of people are looking forward to, like Batgirl, Blue Beetle. You know, we got Peacemaker season 2. And, you know, but obviously a lot of that is overshadowed because a lot of people want to continue the Snyderverse. A lot of people want Henry Cavill back.
Yep.
And just a lot of people have not been able to move on from that. And yeah, granted, the Snyder Cut was fun. We enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great for what it was when it released a year and a half ago. But listen, that's it. That train has come and went. I think we need to start looking ahead because they have some stuff that, you know, we can look forward to. Like I said, Blue Beetle, Peacemaker, some more Suicide Squad spin-offs, the Batman sequel, the Joker sequel. We also got the Penguin show that turns into a whole different thing. Well, the Gotham show that turned into a whole different Arkham series now. We also got the Penguin series. So there's a lot to really look forward to in terms of DC. And obviously from the animated stuff, we got, you know, Harley Quinn season 3 coming out this week. We also got the Green Lantern movie with
Jon Stewart.
What is it? Jon Stewart.
Yeah, I heard
the animated one.
I actually already heard some like early thoughts on it, and they just said it's kind of bland. And it's like, fuck.
It's kind of bland. Yeah. That's disappointing. Yeah. That's disappointing.
Especially with Jon Stewart.
I'll check it out either way. Oh, of course. Yeah, especially with Jon Stewart. It's a little disappointing.
You know, of course we're going to check it out. Like, it's what we do.
But yeah, I mean, to cap off Snyder, at least Snyder's getting an appearance in Teen Titans Go. So he's going to appear as himself in Teen Titans Go. So I mean, I guess, you know, the fans are getting what they want that way.
I'll see. Like I'll be watching that clip on YouTube when it comes out. I honestly, Teen Titans Go, I hate that series. I really hate that franchise.
Yeah, a lot of people,
you know. Do. But again, that's not my Teen Titans. It's not. It wasn't geared toward me.
Yeah, that's not our Teen Titans. Yeah, exactly. So, in terms of me, because I did pose the question, you have the notes. Did WB DC fell at SDCC? And like I said a little earlier, yes and no, but it's not because of what they brought. I feel is a lack of the shows I literally just and the films I just mentioned. Blue Beetle recently finished filming prior to San Diego Comic-Con happening. So I feel there was some stuff that they could have shown, maybe some new concept art, maybe a couple set photos or some official images from principal photography that they've done already in order to get filming underway. We got nothing on Batgirl, no additional images, no concept art, no announcements in terms of cast, villain, other than obviously Firefly. We know Firefly is in the movie. Nothing on Peacemaker season 2, which is already being written by James Gunn. No additional info on the other untitled Suicide Squad spin-offs. No word on the Batman spin-offs, the Gotham show that turned into an Arkham Asylum show. Nothing on the Penguin. Nothing on Batman 2, and then nothing in addition to the Joker sequel. So I feel like, to a degree, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit in terms of all these projects lining up. But I see where the reservation lies, because you couldn't really bring much when you can only really focus on Shazam and you can only focus on Black Adam, which are the only two films you have releasing this year.
Exactly. So you got to remember,
you got Aquaman dropping next year. At the start of 2023, and then you can't really do anything with the Flash because you got all this, public outcry and all. and then legal trouble surrounding Ezra Miller. You know what I'm saying?
And I think you got to remember
it's
too,
a tough position to be in.
You know, they're very different than Marvel. Marvel literally has that one guy like spamming the shit out of everybody, knowing that for the next 10 years, all the projects he has. Like I think maybe 2 projects of Marvel like that they announced randomly at one of the conventions or whatever like that didn't actually go through, and it changed. Like Captain Marvel, technically, then it became the Marvels. You know, instead of just being Captain Marvel sequel and everything, then they made it into something different. They're adjusting the trajectory, but remember, they have that team that will keep things going for a 10-year span, and they have their plan. Now, like you just said, with Flash, they gave us the teaser back on the what was the DC Universe thing, the fandom, right?
The fandom.
And then, you know, of course, now Ezra is fucking up in life, so it's like, you know, they don't want to bring that type of shit into the fold again. You know, the Blue Beetle, it just finished, but I'm sure, like, who knows? Knowing them, they probably saw something and now they want to adjust some shit. That's usually what they end up doing, right? You know, so I think, like, and think about it. For the last 3 years, we've been knowing about Black Adam. It has been changed multiple times already. Like from what they said, they went through reshoots. Now it's actually finished. From this confirmation that Dwayne Johnson said, you know what I mean? So it's like they really had nothing else to really like say, and I think that was the smarter play, because with all the promises and the excitement, then all it's going to do is just end up saying, you know, oh, what the fuck? Like, where's this? Where's that? You know what I mean? What happened here? Now all of a sudden, 10 years down the line, we don't get any of it. You know, I think it's the smarter play. I because again, like I said, when like we're going to get up to Marvel right now, they knew these things 10 years prior. years
in advance, and we're just seeing the fruits of that labor now. So I mean, it's a tough position for WB to be in, and I'm sure to some degree the new merger affected that as well in terms of what they wanted to present. Maybe they did have a much bigger slate of announcements for San Diego Comic-Con, but, you know, in the midst of the merger, in the midst of Ezra Miller's legal trouble, you know, a couple films who are just wrapping up filming, you know, within that same month, and a couple weeks prior. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, cards, you know, a shuffling of the deck going on in order to really present something that will compete with Marvel, for example. You know, and this is something that's always going to be in comparison for years and decades, centuries to come, even at this point. Like, people will forever, even us, we do us in time, we compare Marvel and DC all the time. That's just the way things go. So, you know, when you have something like San Diego Comic-Con, and this is the first Comic-Con in 2 years, you're expecting everyone to come here swinging for the fences. So when you have a panel like, you know, like WB, and granted, The Sandman was a huge title to be presenting at Hall H. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm excited as hell for fucking Sandman.
And unfortunately for The Sandman, it has his own niche crowd, but a lot of it was overshadowed because they were looking for the DC stuff. They weren't necessarily looking for the imprint stuff, which is where The Sandman comes from. So a lot of that, you know, overshadowed with the Henry Cavill stuff, the Snyder stuff. A lot of that stuff. Sandman, unfortunately, kind of got overshadowed in terms of all that. But moving on to Marvel Studios animation, we did get our first clip from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Even though it's not MCU related, I have it there on the Marvel animation because that's the only animated show that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con that wasn't necessarily part of the MCU. We also got the official trailer for I Am Groot. We got some additional news like Vin Diesel returning as Groot, Bradley Cooper returning as Rocket.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop. Vin Diesel is making so much bank off of 2 words, man. It's like 3, I'm lying.
I Am Groot, bro. Listen, bro.
Bow to him. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
If I had the vocal talent to just deliver one sentence in different tones, octaves, and pitches, bro, I'd be caking. If I had that kind of talent.
How do you think he's paying for all these...
It's all about family.
Exactly. How do you think he's paying for all these Fast and the Furious shit? God. Whatever. Fast and Furious 20 in space.
By doing Groot. Exactly. So the series is launching on August 10th with 5 episodes. And they did announce that 5 more episodes will release at a later date. They didn't really specify. So maybe at the end of the year... start of 2023.
Nice.
We might get 5 more episodes for this short. We did watch it. Obviously, you know, our social review, our social sentiments will be on our social media pages, so you guys can check that out there. We can't specify things until the day it comes out, but because, you know, we're under embargo and respect Disney and Marvel, you can just find our social sentiments on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
But we did get our first look at Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is confirmed to be releasing in 2024. We got our official look at his homemade costume, the villains that will be in the show, the heroes that will be in the show. Just to run them off real quickly, we got Harry Osborn, Amadeus Cho, Nico from Runaways.
Okay.
We got Daredevil, who is also going to appear in the show and will be voiced by Charlie Cox. We also have Doc Ock, Rhino, Scorpion, Speed Demon, Tarantula, and more. And of course, Norman Osborn will also be appearing in the show in a mentor
Capacity
role for Peter Parker.
Is this
So there's a lot to look forward to.
So
there.
with this series, is this saying that this is going to be canon, or is this its own standalone series?
This is canon to the MCU, which is weird because this is basically giving us the first 6 months of Peter Parker in the MCU becoming Spider-Man. Because when we meet him in Civil War, remember, he's been Spider-Man for 6 months.
Yes.
So we're going to get that story, the first 6 months of him being bitten by the spider, then becoming Spider-Man within those 6 months.
Well, I guess they're going to have to...
Before we meet him in live action.
Yeah, they're going to have to retcon...
There's some retconning.
Yeah,
there's some
like, especially
retconning that they got to do. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, with the Spider-Verse movie and all... Well, not Spider-Verse. Like, you know, with Spider-Man 3 and all that kind of stuff. They need... With No Way Home, like, that one is... That needs to get... Like, at least that one line with Norman Osborn saying, oh, Oscorp doesn't exist, and so on and so forth. So it's either they're setting it up as... He's up and coming and he blows up overnight because Stark is not around. Or remember, multiverse, this could be the origins of a Peter Parker from another universe within the MCU. So like that, they don't have to retcon anything from the live action universe. You know what I'm saying? So it can still work. Yeah, it'll be canon, but it'll be multiversal canon. So things will play out a little different. So in that universe, the animated universe at least, that version of the universe, you would get the Norman Osborn in that mental role, as opposed to getting Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll work. I think that could be the approach. That's just me, you know, looking at it from them calling this everything that's going on right now up until 2025, the multiverse saga and everything being interwoven into the multiverse, and you know, building off of that. I think that will be the perfect way to, you know, quote unquote retcon things, but not necessarily have it affect the sacred timeline or the continuity that we've been having since 2016. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Yeah, I have more thoughts on it, but let's move on because I'm like, we could be on when it comes to the multiverse and timelines and shit. We can go.
Oh, we can do a whole podcast on the multiverse.
Let's
just
be honest. We'll move forward. Talk about what if season 2 coming out, man. What if season 2? That's what if
season 2. That's coming out in early 2023. Season 3 has already been confirmed to be in the works, so it's been greenlit for a 3rd season. They did reveal some episodes and some of the stories that they will be having. They did show one episode in Hall H this past week. Obviously, those in attendance got to see that exclusively. We'll be getting an episode based on Hela. Okay. We have another episode which will see Odin facing off against the Mandarin.
Hopefully the real Mandarin with some fucking rings and powers and shit.
I would hope, because I want to see that version of the Mandarin. Even though I wouldn't mind the Mandarin that we saw in Shang-Chi. But I would like to see the Mandarin comic book version of the Mandarin.
Oh,
with the
that's
10
true.
rings.
Okay, so I forget. Like technically, Shang-Chi's Mandarin is his father. Yeah, that's true. Actually, and that might be.
Exactly.
I forget that. That's still a better version. A better version, but not the version that I wanted personally. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right. I think it can work in animation. But yeah, we're also going to get an episode where Captain Carter meets the Winter Soldier, and they also confirmed that the Captain Carter we saw in Doctor Strange is not the Captain Carter we know from What If. So this is definitely a different version that we got in live action, which again goes back to Spider-Man Freshman Year.
Yeah.
The animated stuff being in a different universe as opposed to the main universe, the live action universe, and the multiverse, keeping stuff canon while not necessarily affecting the main canon. We're also going to have an episode with Tony Stark on Sakaar alongside Valkyrie and the Hulk. So that should be a banter-filled episode.
Yes, that's all I can.
To say the least.
Yeah.
That's what I grasped from that.
Okay, I want to throw off on the side tangent real quick. So, like, literally,
Go
for
ahead.
background noise, in the sense, for my lady, she put on Infinity War, and seeing the scenes with Thor and Hulk there, that's probably the last time that I really enjoyed anything with them both in it. So, like I said, we talked about Love and Thunder recently, so you guys know my thoughts with that. But they, the Russo brothers gave us a nice, balanced Thor with satire and seriousness. So I'm like, I was looking at it, I'm like, damn. I was like, there's so many missed opportunities. I was like, Taika, why did you have to make him a joke? But I digress. So yes, that one is definitely going to be their hilarious one. Did they say it's going to be what, like 8 episodes again? Or something like that, or anything like that?
I don't recall them mentioning an episode count, but I know they're super excited about doing a lot of stuff that they can't do in live action with the animated stuff. So, which is why, with the success of the first season, they're really going, diving in, fully into the animation stuff, which I'm sure is going to be a hit. Season 2 is going to be a hit, I'm sure. Season 3 is almost guaranteed a hit.
Awesome.
Spider-Man freshman year is definitely going to get some eyes on it, because this is the Peter Parker from the MCU, just in a different, maybe, although not confirmed, in a different universe, rehashing some of that origin story that we didn't get to see in live action, which a lot of people have been wanting to see since we got him in Civil War.
Nice.
But moving on from that, we did get some new information on Marvel Zombies, which is confirmed to release in 2024 on Disney Plus, and it also will be rated TV mature, and will be streaming on Disney Plus. So Disney Plus, listen, has been once they got the parental controls, it was like, you know what, we're throwing all this shit in there, because I don't know if you missed the announcement, Deadpool 1, 2. And Logan also dropped on Disney Plus. I was just going to say,
I saw that scroll through.
I was like, during Comic-Con.
I was like, oh, I got Logan.
During Comic-Con. Exactly. So, you can watch that on there. So with this, Marvel is really...
Marvel Zombies is also animated, correct? Like, so is this going to work off of What If? Well. Or is it's starting its own little series?
I don't know. They didn't really mention it, but I'm going based off the fact that they included Scarlet Witch as someone who was included in the show. True. And we did get to see a zombie version of Scarlet Witch in What If Season 1. I'm going to assume it's going to tie in to some degree.
Gotcha.
Okay. But yeah, we're going to get zombie versions of Ghost. I don't know if you guys remember her from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Abomination, Captain Marvel, as I just mentioned, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Okoye, and Captain America. And we'll also be seeing Kate Bishop in there as regular heroes. Shang-Chi.
Sorry, time out. With didn't they kill Captain America, Okoye, and Hawkeye in the What If then? So that might be that probably already answers it then. Maybe aren't they dead?
Yeah, probably.
I think they're dead.
They did.
I want to say they, because I'm
pretty sure they did.
I remember him throwing the shield at him, and that's why. Who kept the shield actually? But okay, well, there were also zombies, but regardless. I
don't remember who got the shield.
Yeah, actually, I kind of forget who actually survived besides Spider-Man, T'Challa, and Scott Lang, kind of. Yeah, I got that. Let's see here. Hey, where'd you go, bud? Where'd you go? Sorry, guys, some technical difficulties, or just a pause. There he is.
Yeah, just a pause. Just about my kid. Obviously,
you left me so alone.
While your kid is in the house, that's what happens.
I was just so scared.
Especially when you're doing video.
I was so scared. You left me all alone.
I'm here. Let me hold you. Keep you nice and warm.
Oh man.
But yeah, moving on from that, we did get a lot of new information for X-Men 97. Nice. Which will be releasing in the fall of 2023. So you got some time. You got about a year and a half still to go before we get the X-Men officially in the MCU. Season 2 of the show has already been greenlit, so it's already getting 2 seasons, not just this one seasonal continuation.
Yep.
Building off whatever happened in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Magneto will be the leader of the X-Men in this new series, as opposed to Charles Xavier. We're getting the mutants Sunspot, Cable, Bishop, and Nightcrawler, which weren't in the original series, obviously.
Actually, yeah, they were.
And then we're getting... Were they?
Yeah,
I don't recall
they were
them being there.
Oh yeah, Cable was.
Okay, so we're getting the back.
Technically, we're getting Sunspot. I want to say was one of the only ones that was new. Bishop, remember they had like 2. Well, funny enough, because I just watched.
I don't remember. I don't remember Nightcrawler being in there because he has the blue. He has the red and black costume.
Yeah.
I don't remember him having the red and black costume in the show.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's how they introduced him. He had the white little gloves on and all that
with
kind
the
of
white
stuff.
gloves.
He had the red spikes.
Okay.
They were there. Oh, they were there. Now Sunspot is definitely new, I want to say. But again, it depends on how they're doing it, because Cable was last seen with them at that scene with them. Like he was kind of like almost a full-fledged X-Men. Bishop, I feel like also. Nightcrawler, yeah, I forget. Maybe they're saying there might be full-fledged members of the X-Men, because that was the difference.
It might be.
I think because like
it might be. That might be the difference.
Yeah.
That might be the difference this time around.
Yeah, because they made appearances there. They just were. I don't think they were full-fledged members. I think that's what it was.
Right. Right. Okay, so we do have the OG members like Gambit, Rogue, Wolverine. We got Jubilee. We got Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey. And Beast as well. So obviously we got the OG team as well. So that probably could be additional members. Like Sunspot, Cable, and them could be additional members, since they probably weren't members by the end of the original series. Listen, it's been so long, to be completely honest. So I watched this back in the late 90s, early 2000s when I first got put onto Marvel stuff, which I did to myself. Not like anybody showed me the way. You know, I found that life chose me.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? That life chose me. I didn't choose it. It chose me.
I just revisited it this morning, honestly. So that's what I just literally saw the Cable episode, Bishop episode. I was like, wow. I was like, I forgot how animation was back then, and how, there was a lot of shit that needs to get fixed back then. But it was so classic. Exactly. Still classic.
Listen, this is the show that got me into the X-Men. I'm not even gonna lie.
Totally.
This is the show that got me, that made me a Jubilee fan, that made me a Cyclops fan. Okay. And listen, Cyclops is an asshole. We know.
Well, honestly, they made him a little shit. Like, honestly, he's a whiner in the X-Men 92 stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he's such a whiner.
And Magneto was dope.
Yeah, Magneto was the shit.
They were all dope. Yeah. They were all dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to some degree, these are some of the characters we will get to see in live action whenever Marvel decides to fully introduce at least the X-Men in the MCU.
I want to say too, who knows? They have like plenty of they have plenty of options to even bring in a lot of Avenger characters into the X-Men, because they they sprinkled in a bunch. Like they showed the Miss Marvel as Carol Danvers when she first got put in a coma by Rogue. She made it into, like, they had a few episodes for her. Or just one, and then I want to say Punisher might have been in a couple episodes back in the day.
I believe Punisher was in there too. Yeah.
I don't know how. I forget the capacity, or just cameos. And they had everything from Skrulls and all that, like making cameos and all that kind of stuff during the initial run. So it's like they have so much material that they could play off of and really expand that universe. That I'm pumped. Right. I'm excited as hell for that. Like, that would be great.
Listen, making the original X-Men, animated series official MCU canon is fucking crazy.
Like, that's insane.
All these years later to make that canon to the MCU that's not something I would have ever imagined when Iron Man first dropped, or even when I first saw the X-Men. Like, nobody knew we would. Like, looking at it now, where we at with the Marvel stuff, it's crazy.
Insane. Yeah, it's huge.
But yeah, moving on to the movie stuff, because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to these movies, man. There's a lot, because Marvel, man, why you do us like that, Marvel? Come on, man, drop big bombs. But yeah, so Marvel fully announced what Phase 4 is. where it will end, which will be with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They revealed all of Phase 5 and some of Phase 6 of the MCU. So everything we've been getting for the past couple of years leading up until 2025 will be Phase 4, 5, and 6 of the MCU. And it's officially dubbed the Multiverse Saga. So obviously we're diving into the multiverse stuff, all the shows, Disney Plus that we've gotten so far, the few movies that we've gotten, and then all the movies and shows that are coming out within the next few years, to be exact, will be part of the Multiverse Saga. So going back to Black Panther, we did get the cast and the director in Hall H. We got the teaser trailer officially released, which obviously full of emotion, ceremonial. You know, that movie I know for a fact is going to be heavy and a lot of tears will be shed watching it at the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's going to be equally heavy, equally emotional, equally action-packed. It's going to be great. We got the live-action debut and official reveal of Namor. Obviously, they confirmed the casting, which is Tenoch Huerta, who will be playing Namor in the MCU. Obviously, they confirmed the death of T'Challa in the film. Teased the new Black Panther by the end of the trailer, which is most likely Shuri, even though a lot of people are saying it's Killmonger because the costume is gold and black.
So I will.
You know what I'm saying? But
all right. So wasn't there some
got some
drama?
thoughts. Let me hear.
Wasn't there any? Wasn't a while back there was a lot of drama with the I forget her name, the actor that plays Shuri.
Well, Letitia Wright?
Yes. Wasn't there a little bit of
Wright?
like there was a bunch of tea dropping like that, you know, for things
it was
delays,
mostly
injuries,
the vaccine, the injuries, her not being able to come back into the country and things like that. So I mean, most of the drama was because of her, because of that, and her stance on vaccinations, and you know what I mean. Like, it even halted production at some point. Like,
I remember that, yeah. And
so there was a lot of drama surrounding this film and surrounding Letitia Wright in terms of that. But I mean, let's all call it as it is. We all know Shuri is a new Black Panther.
I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't be. I'm more concerned that, you know, if something happens down the ride, like, you know, they switch actors or something along those lines.
Right.
You know, I like one of the theories that it is this girl, the love interest.
Nakia.
Nakia, yes.
Nakia?
Yeah, I like that kind of switcheroo kind of thing. You know what I mean? That she takes over the mantle at one point too, but just to change it up, because that's what the MCU does. You know, they change a lot of the comic book history, but you know, we'll wait and see. I know that trailer was phenomenal.
Listen, that trailer was phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Seeing some brief glimpses of Atlantis, seeing the Atlanteans, seeing some of Namor's origin, and essentially what really drives him mad. Essentially, obviously, we see that he has a rough past. Whether or not they confirm him as a mutant,
they definitely
still
have
remains to be seen.
I think they have to.
Given how Ms. Marvel ended, I think at this point you gotta call him a mutant. At this point,
Yeah, he has little fucking wings on his legs, man. Of course, he's a fucking mutant.
he was born with the wings on his legs.
You don't
That
call
shit
that
is
mutant?
dope, bro.
I was like, it's fucking amazing,
Bro.
So if he does not fly in the fucking like in the show and in the movie, I'm going to call, like, you know, bullshit. Like, that's ridiculous.
BS.
Yo,
You gotta call BS. You're not gonna
to.
have those Icarus wings on your ankles and not fly.
That man
I'm
is
sorry.
flying.
I'm sorry.
He
you
better
can't.
fucking fly. Just throwing it out there. I like, even when
He looks badass.
he really
man.
does.
He looks so badass.
I think
he looks so badass.
I really like their take on, you know, the what is Atlantis. They were just pretty much another break piece of like kind of like Wakanda from the Mayan side type of thing, and they just fell in.
Right.
They had their own shit. I like the differentiation, but at the same time, a similar feel. I'm excited to see it. I'm so pumped.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
so
it looks super fun, and the Atlanteans using their breathers like we've seen in the comics.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they got their breathers too. That shit is dope. Their blue skin. Yo, this movie's gonna be dope, man. Like I said, it's gonna be an epic movie, obviously filled with a lot of emotions and stuff like that. I know a lot of the performances are gonna be heavy because I got that one clip of Angela Bassett, you know, in the throne room giving that emotional speech. I'm like, oh man.
Shit,
I know for a fact I'm gonna be holding back some. I'm gonna be holding back some tears.
I'm gonna let
sure.
it. I'm gonna have a drink with me, so the tears will flow. So I'll tell you that.
They will flow. I'm trying to be like Kevin Smith and shit. I mean, just waterworks. Everything I watch is waterworks.
Real men cry, okay? Real men cry.
Real men cry. Listen, you guys listened to the last episode. You guys heard me find back the dad tears when Kamala had the conversation with her dad with Abu. Man, come on, that one was heavy too.
That was sweet.
But we did get some confirmation of Michaela Cole and in her role. She will be playing Anika in the film. Obviously, that leads to a whole bunch of other things. So that's just Marvel really further expanding the world of Wakanda, the military essentially, and further putting these powerful women in such focal positions in the MCU, which is obviously we love to see.
And
that.
wearing that
so we did get a lot.
I'm sorry, and then to wear that armor from the comics. I don't know if you noticed that, the special armor is pretty much Iron Man, but in lady form, obviously. You know what I mean? And I think that's possibly why Riri Williams needs to fight too, and everything like that, and make her own little armor and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we did get to see Riri Williams.
So the heart pop out.
We saw her, cutting out the heart. Obviously, they did reveal her pop figure shortly after, or the day after the panel, I believe. And we do see her in her Mark 1 costume.
Okay.
So, her homemade one. Okay. And so, obviously, Shuri or whoever comes up with here's some kimono beads and
I really
nanotechnology. Here's just suit made out of vibranium.
I think a vibranium, if she is allowed to make her own vibranium suit, I think that's perfect. I don't want her to rely too much on Wakanda compared to how Peter Parker's Spider-Man had to rely on Tony Stark from getting everything. And then, they kind of retconned that toward the end. So I'm with Riri, I think to do her character justice, she needs to kind of let herself run first, That's in my opinion.
Exactly. But I'm excited to see her introduction in this movie and then obviously get her show later on. But move on to Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which will kick off Phase 5 of the MCU. That's obviously dropping February 17, 2023. We got the first poster for that, which shows, Ant-Man, the Wasp. We also got Stature, who is now, Cassie Lang, who is now being played by Catherine Newton. We interviewed Catherine Newton, so check that out on the YouTube channel. And we also got our first teaser, obviously it's shown exclusively at San Diego Comic-Con, which confirmed the appearance of Kang, obviously with some very menacing words. So Jonathan Majors is, a heavy contender in the MCU going forward in his multiverse saga. And we also got confirmation, which they showed in the trailer, of MODOK. More robotic than human, but, he looks comic accurate based on the descriptions that are online from those in attendance. So I'm not too mad. And he's shooting lasers like he does in the comic books.
Nice.
So I'm for that.
I think he's gonna set up a lot of funny moments. I'll at least throw that out there.
Oh, he's gonna be great. There is heavy rumor that Darren Cross, obviously Yellow Jacket from the first movie, is who MODOK is not the actual original MODOK.
Interesting.
So remember, he did get kind of he
got sucked into
the quantum realm.
Exactly. So maybe just his consciousness is in the MODOK system now. So it's I guess that makes sense, why he's able to be smart and whatever and diabolical. I guess. But exactly. I guess we'll find out. We'll see what's up.
Given how the MCU changes a lot of things, I'm sure there'll be a welcome change because a lot of people did like him as Yellow Jacket. So, he was a great villain in the first Ant-Man movie, so I wouldn't mind, even though I would love to see the original MODOK, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to jump the gun too much regarding MODOK. Just the fact that we got MODOK in the MCU, I've been wanting MODOK for years, so I'm excited. We got news on Secret Invasion, which will also be the first Disney Plus show in Phase 5. We got footage shown at Hall H. Not much description on that. It's very vague stuff that people have put out online. You don't really know who's who, and that's the whole point of Secret Invasion. Who's a Skrull, who's actually human, and tensions will be high. So that's something. And we got to having the MCU.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, after you.
No, I'm gonna say having an espionage thriller in the MCU. For the first time since maybe the Winter Soldier and Black Widow. I'm looking forward to it. I like those kind of movies and that genre in general. So
agreed. I think what I'm just interested to see how they really play it around with Why is this a secret invasion? Is it that it's just a different sect of like, you know, scrolls that are still all worn torn and mad that, you know, from the events of Captain Marvel, you know what I mean, and they, you know, they splintered off, and that's why it's secret invasion, because again, it's like we at least know 2 scrolls that are on Earth that are definite from the ones that we're playing, Nick Fury and oh damn it! Maria Hill. Yes, I have Maria. I had Maria. So bad at names, guys. So it's just like we knew but these are the good ones. You know what I mean? These are the ones that like Fury is directly working with and allows them to do that kind of stuff. So it's like I'm curious to kind of see like how they really play what the secret invasion is and like how they really do it, because at the same time they could even just use like, you know, maybe it could be some Kree people like, you know, just with like image inducers on and shit like that, something silly. But the scrolls are just cooler. The scrolls are cooler because they can also mimic powers, but I don't think they ever showed that in any of the versions that we've seen them in yet.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's the case.
Not that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get Talos in human form in this footage, so I'm wondering if that's just him. You know, I mean, obviously we can get him in human form, but is it Talos in human form, or is it him just impersonating another person? Like, you know, the descriptions weren't very specific. They were just, we got to see Talos in human form. Okay, is he mimicking somebody, or you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Which is most likely the case.
Okay.
But we did get confirmation, or rather the announcement, that War Machine Don Cheadle is in Secret Wars. Nice. But we did not get any information on Armor Wars, which is a series he's supposed to be starring in. But the writer of the series, you know, after the fans were like, you know, questioning like, wait, has that series been canned? What's going on with Armor Wars? We haven't got no news, no nothing. We got news for everything else except that.
Yep.
And Don Cheadle's also coming out in Secret Invasion when he wasn't really supposed to. So what is going on here? So, you know, the writer of the show came out to social media, took to social media to tell the fans that, don't worry, I'm still working on the show. I promise you it's coming out.
Nice.
Maybe there was, like you just said, Marvel likes to shift things around and turns. Maybe it's becoming something completely different than what it was originally. So that could be another possibility.
I can see that.
We also have Olivia Colman, who's joined the MCU, and she will be playing a longtime ally of Nick Fury in Secret Invasion.
Interesting. Okay.
So, a lot more for the MCU because we got Guardians 3, which is obviously got an official release date coming out May 5th, 2023. We got Cosmo the Space Dog in the movie. The dog will be played by Maria Bakalova. Let me just double check my audio real quick. Okay, we're good. All right.
Nice.
We also got confirmation of the High Evolutionary being in the film, being played by Chukwudi Iwuji.
And if you guys remember him from Peacemaker, fucking legit.
Right. He was fucking great. And he actually showed up in costume.
I thought it was just amazing. A picture that they showed. Okay, I thought that was a picture.
No, it was him in costume. What? It was him in his actual costume from the movie. That
Very
shit was
nice.
dope. I was like, oh
Very
shit.
Nice.
That's honestly the perfect way to show like a first look at a character is have the actor actually show up. At a presentation at a panel with the costume they're using in the movie. That was fucking great.
When costumes are camera
we
ready,
did get the teaser trailer.
Like,
oh yeah, for sure. At least we know it's a practice, an actual costume. Obviously, they'll touch it up with some CGI and all that good stuff, make that movie magic. But to see it in the flesh there, Hall H, like, albeit via pictures because we weren't there. To see that it looks good like that, practically, is a good sign. But we did get a teaser trailer shown for Guardians 3, which was later leaked online.
I'll wait for it.
Obviously, I know you. Listen, I just saw the 2 things I was looking forward to, and then I was like, you know what? I'll wait for the official thing to come out. Obviously, they did show Adam Warlock in the trailer. Yep. He does have a gem. He does have a gem in his forehead.
Good.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. We can theorize for hours.
Well, the gem was more aesthetic, or / also it was also the part that like held his evil
the Soul
side.
Stone.
No, the gem in his head wasn't the Soul Stone originally.
At some, not originally, but at some point they did turn the Soul Stone into the gem he used in his forehead, which he will use to access the Soul Realm.
You might. I feel like you might be right with that one. I gotta double check that thing because I remember also it was like his evil side.
We're both right though. We're both
Yeah.
right though because at first that wasn't the case. When we first back in the day, you know, back before we were even born, that wasn't the case.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't what the gem was for.
Oh yeah, they did so many different things with Adam Warlock throughout the comics that honestly. I just know right now he's not. He has the gem still in the comics, but he's also doesn't have the Soul Stone because the Soul Stone is sentient now. So a lot of shit is happening in the comics.
So now it's just for looks.
Exactly.
It's just a cool look. So they confirmed that Rocket's origins will be explored in the movie, and they confirmed that not just by word of mouth, but also because they showed a baby Rocket Raccoon in the trailer.
Yep.
So yeah, he looks adorable as hell, and I'm pretty sure Marvel will be selling a whole bunch of plushies, and I want one.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying right now.
Oh boy,
I want one.
Not even for your kid, for you.
No, I want one for me. Fuck them kids. You know what I mean? I want one for me.
Oh god.
Moving on from that, we got Echo releasing in the summer of 2023. We also got official confirmation that Charlie Cox will be appearing in the show. Obviously, that was reported prior to Hall H.
Yes, sir.
But again, confirmation from Kevin Feige is confirmation nonetheless. Obviously, Kingpin is also confirmed to appear in the show.
Yep.
We got Loki Season 2, which is releasing in the summer of 2023.
Cool. We
got Blade releasing November 3rd, 2023, with filming beginning this October, so the fall of 2022. We got Ironheart, who obviously will be making her debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Cool.
That show is dropping in the fall of 2023. We got Agatha, House of Harkness. Got a title change to Agatha Coven of Chaos. And that's releasing in the winter of 2023, leading into the winter of 2024. But yeah, that could mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
Agatha is a witch.
Yeah.
Coven of Chaos. Witches do have covens.
We get it.
Chaos magic.
we get it. We get it. We get it. But
I mean, maybe some people don't. You know what I mean? I like to be wordy and over-explain.
All I know, I already feel like, one, Scarlet Witch is definitely not dead. I just feel like, you know what I mean? She's just chilling somewhere else. That's what she's doing. So whether she makes an appearance in Agatha's stuff, it's actually I'm curious to see if they're just trying to pull off something with a lot of the because the main storylines Agatha has been in in the comics, there was like, the Visions, which they kind of already did a play on already. For the most part, but unless that's what they're going to do again, because now maybe Vision goes back. He's back, so maybe that's a thing. But all right,
we do have White Vision to still deal with.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just curious. I know she did great. She got the title, like she got her own show just because of how well she did in WandaVision. So I'm not mad at that. I'm just curious what they're trying to do. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with the show, but it has to be tied back to Scarlet Witch in some way.
Totally.
In some way, shape, or form. So
totally.
We did get an official title reveal for Captain America 4, which will be titled Captain America: The New World Order.
Very nice.
That will be releasing May 3rd, 2024. Obviously, this is the film being led by Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Beautiful.
Obviously, She-Hulk is dropping in a few weeks. We got an official trailer, which was great. CG is obviously mostly improved from the first teaser that we got all those months ago. We got 2 posters that were released during Comic-Con. People who've noticed or haven't noticed by now, there is a number on one of the posters. If you guys call the number, there is a fun little message from She-Hulk. So please call that number.
It's fun. Do it, guys.
And yeah, it is fun. It's a fun message. It's fun. So it's just going to show you what you're going to be in for when you watch She-Hulk.
Yep.
Starting August 17th. So Wong is also appeared to confirm. Appeared to confirm. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It confirmed to appear. Wong is in the show.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. Yeah.
The Wrecking Crew. Yeah, he's in the trailer. The Wrecking Crew is also there. And obviously, by the end of the trailer, we got to see that Daredevil is also confirmed to appear. Obviously, Charlie Cox is not just appearing in Spider-Man freshman year. He's also appearing in Echo. And he's also appearing in She-Hulk in his yellow and red costume. And he's also appearing in his own series on Disney Plus, titled Daredevil Born Again. And that will be dropping in the spring of 2024. Charlie Cox, obviously, and Vincent D'Onofrio are both confirmed to appear. And this will be the first Disney Plus series to have 18 episodes.
Wow.
So Daredevil Born Again will be 18 episodes long.
But probably be like 35 minutes, I bet. Like, I don't think they're going to be that long then. If they're giving them that much, they're going to chop it.
I hope. Yeah, they're going to chop most of it, but I'm hoping they've listened to what fans want. Which, 18 episodes, you can do a lot with 18 episodes, even if the episodes are 30 minutes.
Totally.
But if you're giving me 45 minutes, 40 minutes, not including credits, because, Marvel is notorious now for giving you 15 minutes of credits every single episode. I think you can give us a lot of content.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they are heavily invested in Charlie Cox, and I'm glad that Marvel has given him his due. He appeared in No Way Home, coming out in Spider-Man freshman year, coming out in Echo, She-Hulk, his own series. Yep. Dude is going to be everywhere. And I'm here for it.
He's going to be pinnacle for Secret Invasion, I bet, right there, too, when they put him into the show.
For sure. God. Or even the stuff that they announced later on, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. We got Thunderbolts officially confirmed, and that's dropping July 26, 2024. Fantastic Four has an official release date of November 8th, 2024. Nice. Okay. With filming beginning early 2023. And Fantastic Four, for now, is the first film of Phase 6 of the MCU. There is a timeline that they show for Phase 6. Okay. Which, only included, Fantastic Four, then it was empty, and then the 2 Avengers films they announced. So there's a lot of airspace, a lot of unannounced stuff that they have on that Phase 6 timeline that I'm pretty sure they're probably going to announce at D23 or maybe hold it off till next year.
Interesting.
To announce at San Diego Comic-Con again.
Okay.
So obviously 2 Avengers films dropping in 2025. We got Avengers: The Kang Dynasty releasing May 2nd, 2025. And we also have Avengers: Secret Wars releasing November 7th, 2025. So
Secret Wars is definitely going to combine the multiverse eventually again. That's what they're
for sure. I mean, that's all they're leading up to. And I have high expectations now, like in terms of excitement for Secret Wars. Yeah. Because I know what they were able to do with Endgame and Infinity War.
As long as it doesn't...
Having 2 Avengers films in 1 year, as opposed to back-to-back years, like we did with Endgame and Infinity War, that means Kang and the entirety of the multiverse is going to be doing a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now that they actually have all the characters out there, it really helps. Don't get me wrong, of course, our big name ones, or the OGs, as we like to call them and everything, from, Cap and Tony Stark and all that kind of stuff, they might not be there, but, you know what I mean? We're going to get something. You know what I mean? We're going to get...
Money, I'll put $20 up right now. This is the movie. Because Chris Evans said it'll take a lot for me to come back as Captain America. This Secret Wars will be that.
Well, funny enough, I can see them doing the same thing with RDJ. I think he would come in, but and he doesn't. And think about it, he doesn't really need to do too much acting. A lot of his time in the suit is all CGI. You know what I mean? He just needs to make sure his face and his voice is in it, and that's really all it is. Like, I feel like and it all comes down to how they piece together Secret Wars. It depends how they because Secret Wars could be done multiple ways, like how it was in the recent recent years. The worlds collided and Doom was one of the people putting it back together and shit like that. So we can see how that plays out.
And I think that's the run they're gonna adapt. Since the words since Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness kind of hinted at that being the Secret Wars they were adapting. Obviously, incursions, worlds colliding, one of the worlds disintegrated and shit. So everything, now also we also got confirmation that the portal Reed Richards used in order to appear in that Illuminati meeting was a device created by Victor Von Doom.
Yep.
So obviously Victor Von Doom already exists in the MCU. We haven't seen him yet, and then in this universe that we got to see the Illuminati, he's already established as Doctor Doom.
Yep.
So when and where we get to meet Doctor Doom remains to be seen.
Word.
I can almost guarantee this is just speculation right now. I don't know anything, but I can almost guarantee we'll get him in the first Fantastic Four film, and maybe a tease for him in Black Panther.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's just a huge maybe.
Yep.
But maybe Fantastic Four for sure. Even if he's not the main villain for the Fantastic Four in that first movie.
Yeah, I think they just need to. They need to just show him as Doom already, and just like keep it simple. Just be like, show him in his, in Latveria and shit like that. Just keep it simple. Don't even fuck with, like, you know what I mean. Don't give him a storyline until later. We don't need that right now. We don't need.
Exactly. right. Exactly. And then honestly, like with Kang being, they can do the same thing they did with Thanos and with Kang. You know what I mean? Like, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty is a Kang solo film.
Yeah. It's
not an Avengers film. It's a Kang solo film. Just like Infinity War was literally a Thanos solo film. And we just see Kang.
I need to see Kang killing a bunch of Avenger versions all over the place. I just need to see him like actually.
I mean, he did. Listen, that short interaction that he had with Ant-Man in that Ant-Man and the Wasp teaser trailer or Quantumania trailer. He does that. Ant-Man goes, I'm an Avenger. And he's like, oh, you're an Avenger? Have I killed you before?
Yeah.
Have I killed you before?
Yeah.
Anybody who I meet and asks me, have I killed you before?
That hurts.
Bro, I'm not talking. I'm not responding. I am shrinking down the size and I am hauling ass the other way.
Man.
No questions asked.
But
no question. No, you're not showing up at my
hilarious.
doorstep asking me, have I killed you before?
Dude,
no, we're not doing that today. Not today.
Toughest line since I am inevitable and shit like that. That's like the toughest line and shit.
Bro, you cannot. That's that's just somebody you don't fuck with. No,
Kang always been
no.
hardcore like that. That's one of the best things about him in the comics. He's fucking badass, like straight up.
Exactly. Having Jonathan Majors as Kang is gonna be dope because he can act. He delivers performances, bro. Puts on a fucking clinic.
Word.
But yeah, that's everything for the Multiverse Saga that was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. That was a mouthful.
Word.
But yeah, that was majority of our time, to be completely honest.
I'll run through the Star Wars comic book stuff real quick. We can knock those out. Like, I'll just say it right now. Star Wars. Amanda Stenberg cast in the lead role for Star Wars: The Acolyte. That's all Star Wars. Comic book TV shows and the films. We have Tales of the Walking Dead. It's premiering around August 14th. They already released a trailer. You guys can look online to see who's starring. We have a final trailer for the final season of The Walking Dead, finally on October 2nd. We need to put that to bed already. Sorry.
I've been rewatching it. Leave me alone.
I'm sorry, no judgment, because again, I'm going to start rewatching it again from like probably again, and then just so I can get past the Negan saga because that's where I stopped.
I'm at season 7 now. I started watching it from season 1.
Okay, see, I'll probably do it just to make myself feel better, but I feel you. Denai Garaya and Andrew Lincoln, they're returning, and instead of it being an actual movie for the final Walking Dead stuff and everything, it's a 6-part spin-off, which is actually pretty dope in my opinion. So it's like, that Rick Grimes trilogy is done. The official trailer for Transformers Earthspark was released. Live action Berserker film coming to Netflix. So Keanu Reeves is banking right now, I'm telling you right now, because
on everything.
It's insane.
On everything.
Insane. Because honestly, Berserker, I feel like I don't understand. Like, it's a good series. It's okay. I don't think there's enough to really make it into all these other like mediums. But there's an anime series. There's going to be the series on Netflix, and there's a lot. there's a lot going on. Madison,
there's a
Mattson
lot
Tomlin
going on.
to write. Mattson Tomlin to write it.
Yeah, Mattson Tomlin.
Yeah, it's going in. So shit. Let's. You know what? I might have to.
I can fly. I can fly through. I can fly through some of this right now.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of non-comic book stuff that was announced at Comic-Con. So we got the first trailer for Teen Wolf, the movie, which is coming to Paramount Plus later this year.
Yep.
Tyler Hoechlin will be credited as a producer. Sarah Mitchell Gellar returns to the Teen Wolf franchise with a off-spin on the main series called Wolfpack. And there's already talks for more Teen Wolf content on Paramount Plus. Obviously, we all know that was a huge series back in the day. We got a trailer for the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Howard Shore is confirmed to be returning to compose the main theme for the series, while Bear McCreary is composing the official soundtrack for the show. The Wheel of Time got renewed for a third season at San Diego Comic-Con. We also got a sneak peek at season 2 with some behind the scenes footage. We got a trailer for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. We also got a poster for that. That looks super fun, and I've never played Dungeons and Dragons ever in my life, but that looks like a hella good time, and I am here for it. Shouldn't, like Aaron said, it shouldn't look this good, but this looks good. So I'm here for it. We also got a teaser for John Wick Chapter 4.
Banking, like I said.
For All Mankind, exactly. For All Mankind got renewed for a 4th season on Apple TV. So Apple TV made their debut at San Diego Comic-Con this year and announced that 4th season for All Mankind, a new trailer for the final season of C, starring Jason Momoa. We also got news on the first animated feature film for Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is dropping in theaters in 2024 and will follow the main cast as young adults. They're not kids anymore. Now they're young adults, which will be a nice spin on that original lore. I'm excited about that one because that's dropping in theaters. So we also got the cast of Star Trek Lower Decks. They are confirmed to appear in a crossover episode as their live-action counterparts from the animated version in Star Trek New Worlds Season 2. So that's some cool stuff to look forward to. Now, Ed, if you want to tackle some of this comic book stuff, this is all yours. There's a lot
here.
You want to save that for...
I want to do that for my next...
CITB episode.
Yes, I think I'm going to run
I feel you could do or a catch-up video.
I think
maybe
so.
one of those.
I think it both works.
Matter of fact, both work. So we're going to leave all the comic book announcements because there was a lot. Honestly, we dropped all the TV, there's a lot of exciting stuff that I feel we can spend another hour on. And I feel maybe that could be an episode in and of itself. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff here that's super exciting, especially from DC. DC announced some cool stuff that's dropping. Marvel also announced some cool stuff that's dropping. And Boom Studios also dropped some cool announcements, which I didn't really write there, which I was going to cover on the site. But if you're going to save that for another episode, we can definitely throw that in there, and then we can cover all of that for San Diego Comic-Con. But for this episode, since we're really focused on mostly the TV and the movies, I think that's going to really do it for us this week at San Diego Comic-Con. Listen, as we said, and we talked about it, before we even did this episode a couple of days ago, it's been 2 years since there was a San Diego Comic-Con, and everybody came with all the news. This was like nerd heaven in terms of announcements and news and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was a busy weekend for me. So I'm glad we got done this podcast and talk about 95% of it because it was some hype moments. While these announcements are dropping.
I'm telling you, honestly, seeing my phone blow up from all the announcements and seeing just all the comic book news going out, I'm just like, okay, I'm sold all the way through and shit. So yeah, let's talk about these things on another day.
It was a great. It was. I'm down for that. I'm down for that, honestly, and I'm pretty sure the listeners are down for that too.
Love it.
Because their time is precious. So we want to conserve that for them, and if we can give them another episode out of San Diego Comic-Con, I'm pretty sure they're down for a 2-parter.
Let's do it.
We'll let them speak to us directly instead of speaking for them. But anyway,
we're gonna do
that's
it regardless.
Gonna be for us this week. We're gonna do it regardless. That's gonna be for us this week and this episode. There won't be an episode next week because again, Boozer is recovering from COVID. I'm gonna be on vacation, so Ed and I will not be able to get together. remotely to get an episode done. But there will be an episode or two, maybe, whenever I come back, or maybe there might be another video from Ed within sometime next week to cover the remainder of the comic book announcements. You guys just got to subscribe and to wherever we at and see for yourselves. See what we drop. We're dropping stuff every single day. So, I mean, keep up with the Nerdy Basement everywhere if you want to keep up with that. Comics in the Basement is everywhere the Nerdy Basement is at. So, I mean, that's all we really got for you this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. As always,
stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.
Peace.